Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back with me, Iqbal in the house. Here I'm gonna do my task about presentation and the explanation text about crimes. So let's get started. Crimes. In common words, a crime is an illegal act punishable by the law, by the government or other agency. The term crime is contemporary criminal law, taken easy and universally acceptable definitions. The most common view is that crime is illegal activities. One purpose explanations is that the crime or offense or criminal offense is the act harmful not just to some people, but also to the group, society, or the state. Such performances are prohibited and punishable by the law. Generally speaking, crimes can be placed into three categories. The first of these, crime against the person, refers to variety of criminal offenses that involve the use of force or the threat of the use of force against another person. The second is against property or crimes against property. Property crime is a category of crime that includes burglary, motor vehicle theft, arson, vandalism, and shoplifting. It involves the taking of property or money and doesn't include a threat of force or use of force against the victim. And the third is crime against society. This term represents the prohibition of the community not to be involved in the certain types of activities, such as alcohol and drugs, are crimes that negatively affect society rather than individuals or property. Crimes against the person are generally considered the most serious type of crime, and our illegal consequences imposed for convictions are accordingly severe. The potential penalties that associated with these types of crimes include probations, fines, restitutions, and significant jail time, as well as others. Crimes against property, such as burglary. Burglary is entry into a building illegally with intent to commit a crime. The second is theft, taking of another person's property without permissions with the intent to deprive the rightful owner of it. And the third is arson, the criminal act of deliberately setting fire to property. Shoplifting, taking goods which they are displayed for sale without paying for them. Vandalism, action involving deliberate deface to public or private property. Larceny, theft of personal property. Burglary, also called breaking and entering and something's housebreaking, is an unlawful entry into a building or another location for the purpose of committing an offense. In sociology, there are two types of crimes based on the subject. The first one is white-collar crime, used to describe a criminal offense which occurs or is committed in a business environment. The majority of white-collar crime are non-violent theft crimes and involve theft by deceptions or fraud. The second one is blue-collar crime. The term blue-collar crimes was originally coined to mean those crimes committed by someone from the working or lower class of society. In social theory of crimes, says that criminal behavior is the result of damage to social system and structures. A criminal from a divorced family, having a difficult childhood, living in a poor social environment and failing many laws, not having good educations, having physical and mental disorders, and various other psychosocial difficulties. In this perspective, the individual's impression is seen as a passive formation of the system around him. But actually, in the bioecological approach by Yuri Bruvan Banner, there are interactions of personal factors. the individual himself, including aspect of personality, trauma, biological aspect, with the social system factors around him. This means that criminal behavior will appear as an interaction between personal factors and environmental factors that must be identified. For example, someone who has a personality disorder has experienced a traumatic parenting pattern and currently living in an environment that doesn't care about the law can make it easier to commit a crime. In Indonesia, crime is still being one of the biggest threats in Indonesia. Police shows the number of incident crimes or total crimes in Indonesia is always decreases every year. You can see the data that already shown in my slide. In line with the total crime, the level of risks of being exposed to a crime or crime rate every 100,000 people also decreased in the year of 2018 amount to 113. This number decreased from 140 in 2016. Here I got some solutions from my point of view. The first one is manage household well. The second, there are no differences in treatment based on economic level. The third one is increase economic activity in the community. And the second, and the last, do rehabilitation. Do rehabilitation for the suspect. For closing my presentations, I got a quote for you all. Life isn't like a math that has a definite answer. Life isn't like white and black that we can define what color it is. There is always a gradations between white and black. It's named life. There is no pure white or pure black. Instead, there is always a gray spot that we can't judge what kind of color it is. People always have reasons to do something. Life is about how we see things around us.